Adjust the camera to make sure you guys can see. I hope you're doing well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Let me make sure I can see. Uh-oh. Hold on. Training our bodies. What is happening? Okay. Good morning. I see Sarah and Vanessa and Vicky and Peggy. Good morning to all of you. How is your first couple of days of September going? It actually feels like fall up here in Northern Virginia, so that's pretty exciting. We did have those crazy storms that kind of came through the area, and I know a lot of people are dealing with that still. But I am thankful for the little bit of cooler weather. I see Shannon. Oh, this one's dry. Good to know. See Shannon and Carol. Good morning, guys. I am Elisa, and I am the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com. And welcome to Take 10. So Take 10 is a time that I set aside each week, and we just kind of play with products or techniques or just creativity. We play with it live on the air. We don't try to end up with a finished product. I think far too often we focus on creating a finished product as creatives or as artists or crafters, whatever you consider yourself. You're worried about what the finished product will be like, and you're worried if I can take a picture and put on an Instagram, or in my case, can I do a video? And I think it's important to give yourself the permission to just play, to just experiment. It's always a really nice release. It feels great. It feels fun to play around, and that's what we're going to do today. Today we are playing with gel plates again, because you guys, I love my gel plates. I have them right over here. And I feel like the only time I get to play with them is when I'm doing Take 10, which is crazy. I need to take a little more time to play with my gel plates. So that being said, I'm going to keep scheduling them in Take 10s, because that definitely kind of forces me to play with them, and it always makes me happy when I do. Good morning, Amanda, and good morning, Missy. So today we're playing with gel plates, and we're also playing with a different color palette. We're using browns. We're going fall. Browns. I probably should have pulled out some copper, but that's okay. And we're going to play with texture. So the idea is I have this journal. This is my new Take 10 journal. It is from Archer and Olive. You don't need a nice journal for Take 10. This is not a journal you're going to share. This is a journal you're going to experiment with. So make sure just to grab something and play, because this is for you and for no one else. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and we are going to get going. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so I poured out some different paints over here. I'm going to use my little spatula thingamajig that I got from the Dollar Tree, just to add a little bit of paint. Okay, so in my head, I wanted to play with some texture, and truthfully, I was thinking of how to play with texture and make some colors that I might not normally play with, make them more interesting. So the first thing I'm doing, I put just a couple of colors down, and I'm using my brayer, which is just this little roller tool. And whenever you get ink or paint or whatever on your brayer, thank you, Peggy, that's a palette knife, you can just use it to add some interest to your page, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to wipe it off over here. And I love the metallic I used has, or sorry, one of the paints I used has a metallic feel to it. So I want to come and I want to add some to this. So I'm going to take this, just a plastic fork, and I'm going to add some lines. And I probably shouldn't have done it quite so heavy, but I put some lines in. Let's see what we end up with. Putting that on the top, pressing, that's too hard, and then peeling it up. Okay, you have a little bit of the fork. Let's come over here and add it to this side. Hello from the Netherlands. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see you guys. Okay, you got the lines a little bit more there. Let's play again. I want to just see what I can come up with. We're going to go lighter this time. We'll do a couple different lighter tones. I just want to see what textures I can create. I was thinking wood tones, but I mean, to me, fall has a lot of texture to it. I mean, you have leaves, you have tree bark, you have just a ton of different things that I feel like are fun textures to play with and to just see what happens. So I'm just covering this. That mixed more than I intended. So I'm actually going to I'm going to move this. I do have some extra sheets of paper off to the side, and I would recommend, if you are playing with your gel plate, to have extra sheets of paper that you can just play with. Oh, Sarah, gel plates, my goodness, they are fun. Okay, let's try this. So I got a little foam dot here, and we're gonna just do, truthfully, let's take some and put some down. Pick some up, put some down. So I'm getting a very light circle over here. This is very light colors, but it's still working. And then let's not press quite so hard. There we go. I like it better when I'm not pressing so hard. Again, that's one of the things we learn in Take 10, things you like and things you don't like. Oh, sorry, one of my lights went out. If you thought it got a little bit darker, you are not crazy. One of my side lights went out. Sorry, friends. I will fix it after I'm done with it. This is kind of fun. You guys know me and repetitive patterns all over. Okay, now let's see if we get any hint of those circles when we add it over here. I'm going to do a little bit of an overlap right here. They're so fun to play with. Gel plates can create all sorts of things. All right, let me plug in this light so that you guys can see a little bit better and that I can see a little bit better. I'm not sure that we really got a ton of the circles over here, but if you look at what's left on the gel plate at this point, I bet I get circles this time. Let's come this way. Let's see. All you do is flip it over, press it down. Okay, so I did get more of the gel plate. There is still paint on here, so I'm actually going to bring it over, place it on top of this other one, and leave some impression over there. So you know what, guys, you still got some. I like the second impression of that one the best, but I did like this. I thought this was fun. That'd be fun in some different colors. This is, Sarah asked what journal. This is an Archer and Olive journal. It's one of their larger sizes. The sheets are basically 8.5 by 11, and it's one I got in a subscription box, to be honest. Archer and Olive I upgraded. So I used to just use a real cheap journal that I got from Tuesday Morning, which worked great, and it had kind of like a mixed media paper in it. Archer and Olive is a little bit higher quality for the paper, which I like because it's going to take more, it's going to stand up to more, and I like to push it for Take 10. I agree. Vanessa says the best way to get over fear is to just start playing, and she is 100% right. Okay, I'm gonna just not really dig in the brown as much. Y'all knew brown would be a stretch for me, right? If you were here at the beginning and you saw me pouring out some brown, you were probably like, what is going on? Brown was always gonna be a stretch, but that's okay. We stretch ourselves, we discover new things. I do like the hint of the brown. Okay. Oh, I have it on my thing. Let's add some. I mean, you just get some interesting, this is starting to look little more vintage, a little more rustic. I'm going to pull out a piece of paper since that one's going to be wet for a little bit. I'm going to just pull out an extra piece of paper. This is one of my favorite things in the whole world. We are, of course, talking about bubble wrap. I'm going to open this one up, and I'm only going to use like a part of it. Bubble wrap, super fun to play with, and let's see what kind of impression we can get from our gel plate. So I'm going to actually take my brayer, lay the bubble wrap over the top. I'm going to press it down a little bit just to make sure I get good coverage. Lifting up the bubble wrap, super cool. Laying down the bubble wrap, going over the top with my brayer, real gentle. That's fun. And then let's see what happened over here. Brenda said she lost control of her jelly plate the first time. So something I recommend, you see how I keep it on its backing? Because I actually I actually use the backing more. I have my hands on the backing more than on the actual gel plate. It makes it easier to hold. Okay, I did not press super hard that time. Nice. Let's see what our next impression is. And this one I am going to go over with my brayer just because I want to make sure I can get it off. Oh, whoa. I like it. But you know what I want to try? So I'm going to move that over. Come back to this. I'm going to use just the lighter color. I'm going to add lighter to the top of that. So I'm going to bring in just this color. I'm going to spread that out pretty thin on the gel plate using the brayer. Okay, come over here. I kind of like to go different directions when I'm wiping off the brayer. Okay, okay. Come in here, back to this. Hey, Katrina. All right. Okay, pull that up. Yes, you guys, look at that. That's cool. Okay, and then let's put this one here. And again, I'm gonna just use my brayer really lightly, just because I kind of want to make sure it gets pressed down. Woo! Yes. Yes, I like it. Okay, and then this one, we're gonna bring, we're just layering it up on these two papers. We're gonna bring this one over here, and you guys, we're gonna go this way. Alexa, stop. And pull that up. Got a little bit. And so you did end up with some pretty cool textures in there, if you can see that. You can play with almost any texture on your gel plate. So I keep this whole bin of old paintbrushes because some of them are real rough. I have like a toothbrush in here, you guys. I have the Dina Wakley media sticks, so you can like make all different patterns and stuff. Oh, Vanessa's saying it can be easier to bring your paper to the gel plate instead of the gel plate to your paper. I think there's different ways to do it, so it kind of depends. If it's a bigger one, I would definitely bring the paper to the gel plate. I have a real small one too, this circle one, that I always bring to the paper. It kind of depends on what you're going for. So yeah, it depends on what is easier for you to use. So I just kind of collect different things that I can use to make different textures. And I use it in all kinds of mixed media, but using your gel plate and playing with that can be a really fun way to get a lot of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, get a lot of value for all of that. Like you can see textures, I feel like, more when you're using the gel plate. That's what I'm trying to get to. So more so than when I'm just playing with these tools directly on the paper, if that makes sense. So all that being said, gel plate textures, getting into the browns, getting into some fall colors, which I'm pretty excited about. And you can see this is definitely the start to like a fun art journal page. Definitely can be a jumping off point. I mean, and using some different colors too, for sure. So that about wraps up Take 10. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you ever have any questions or any requests for Take 10, make sure to reach out either here or on Instagram and let me know, and I can add that to my Take 10 lineup. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I do have supplies linked in the description if you want to check out gel plates and things like that. So make sure to check those out. A huge shout out to my Scrappy YouTube members. Thank you so much for all of your support. If you want to find out more about Scrappy YouTube membership, then make sure to either click the join button if you can see it, or there is a link in the description box to find out more. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.